In this video, you're going to learn the three paths you can take if you want to create wealth. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because I want you to understand that creating wealth is not something that is just fixed in one particular path. And you may find yourself suited to one way of building wealth more than the other way of building wealth, and you can just pick whichever one is okay with you. So before we go into the three ways of building wealth, you first need to understand what wealth is and how it is different from being rich. Wealth is you simply having lots of money and lots of time. Being rich is having a lot of money, but you can be rich and not wealthy if you don't have a lot of time, free time. If every single minute of your day or most of your day is spent towards doing the thing that makes you money, then you are rich and not wealthy. But if you make money or you find ways to make money and detach your ability to make money from your time, so your time is completely free, right? Or you have so much free time, but you are still making a whole lot of money, then you are wealthy. So for us to understand this, let's look at this example. I want you to think of two co-workers, Joe and Tim. Now Joe and Tim makes 20k working for 20 hours a day. Both of them have worked the same job. They make 20k for 20 hours. And you can say that both of them are equally rich and they're equally wealthy because the time that they use, that they invest into making 20k is the same, and they also make the same amount of money. And let me even give you this formula now for you to be able to calculate your own wealth. Divide how much money you make by how much time you invest into making that money. So they make 20k in 20 hours. So we can say that they have the same level of wealth because 20k divided by 20 hours is 1,000, 1k per hour. That's what they make. They make 1k every hour. Now, if Tim says he wants to make more money than Joe and decides to work for double the time, okay? No, let's correct that. Let's correct the hours which they work so the calculation can be easier. They don't work 20 hours, they work 10 hours, right? They make 10k and they work for 10 hours. Both are both equally rich and wealthy. Now, if Tim says, okay, he wants to make more money than Joe and decides to increase his work time to 20 hours so that he can make 20k, right? Joe still makes 10k in 10 hours. You can say that Tim is richer than Joe. He literally is richer than Joe because Tim now makes 20k, Joe still makes 10k. But Tim is not wealthier than Joe because 10 divided by 10, 10k divided by 10 hours is 1,000 per hour. Then 20k divided by 20 hours is also the same thing, 1,000 per hour. So Tim makes more money simply by investing more time. That's not how you get wealthy. Being wealthy is you being able to detach your money from your time. Tim is richer than Joe, but both of them are still equally wealthy. If Tim instead decides that instead of increasing my work time from 10 hours to 20 hours, right, let me find a way to still make that 10k, but reduce my work time to 5 hours instead. We can now see that both of them are still equally rich. Okay, when you're measuring rich, you're looking at how much money. When you're measuring wealth, you're looking at the relationship between money and time. Now 10k divided by 10 hours is 1k per hour. Okay, but 10k divided by 5 hours is, you can see that the time has greatly been reduced, right? That's 2k per hour. It makes 2k per hour of work, which we can just put that as his calculation of wealth. Remember, wealth is how much your money you make divided by how much time you have to invest. 2k per hour, why Joe is still 1k per hour? They are both equally rich, but Tim is wealthier than Joe. So in order for you to build wealth, you have to find ways to make so much money in very little time. That's the law for wealth creation. How can I make so much money in very little time? And there are three assets. So let's get into the assets, right? There are three assets that allows you to detach your money from your time. That allows you to maximize how much money you make and minimize how much time you have to invest into making that money. And that is owning companies, okay, having investments and creating intellectual properties. With companies, we all know that the richest people in the world own businesses, but it is not a business that creates wealth. Owning a business alone won't actually make you wealthy. It is the companies they create that build them that wealth. There's a big difference between a company and a business. Okay, a business is every activity you do, from making a product to delivering it in front of a paying customer. A company is an organization of people working together with different duties and responsibilities in order for them to run that particular business. Now, you can run a business all by yourself. Everybody can start a business by themselves. The problem is, in order for their business to work, they have to work. Okay, imagine you are a chef or you are a cook. You can start a business by yourself in your home, in your kitchen. You make the food, you get customers, you sell it, and you deliver it. Okay, that is you running a business by yourself. But you can't create wealth that way because you cap your money. You cannot, you yourself, you limit how much money you can make, because there's a limit on how much food you can make. There's a limit on how many people you can deliver it to. There's a limit on how many people you can sell your product to. But if you build a company instead, you are leveraging other people's time and other people's money. So instead of you doing the cooking, right, let's now use the route a chef will take if they want to create wealth with companies. Now, if they want to do that, what they will do instead is open a restaurant, hire 5 cooks, hire a bunch of servers, hire some cleaners, hire a manager, and hire the necessary people needed to run that restaurant. Okay, 5 cooks would increase how much food you can make a day to potentially 5 times more, while reducing the time you need to spend on cooking to absolutely 0. This is important because this is how you detach your productivity from your time investment. If you can get 5 cooks, you don't need to cook. Your cooking time goes to 0, but you're productive when it comes to creating the product, which is the food or whatever business you are in, right? You increase your productive capacity to times 5. This is why companies make people wealthy. The richest people in the world, they really have companies. They don't just run business, they have companies. So the best thing to do is don't just stop at building a business. You want to create a company to help you run that business. So that's how you create wealth with companies. The second part is investment. And I want you to see investment like this. We are familiar with common investments like stocks, bonds, real estate. But I will tell you that every single avenue that allows you to multiply your money is an investment opportunity. And I remember one in particular. There was a particular day I was working with a friend, and she told me about how her business makes money and how she has been able to multiply her income, her capital. She doubles her money every week. She makes her profit margin is 100%. And that really got me interested. And I made a deal with her. Okay, I gave her a certain amount of money and she would give me 70% while she would take 30%. And she was cool with the deal and she accepted. I was able to make that deal with her. From listening to making that deal, it took me about 20 minutes. The thing with investment is this. It wouldn't matter if I was investing 10,000, 100,000 or a million into a particular investment opportunity. It would still take me 20 minutes to analyze the investment and make the deal. When it comes to investment, you know that the more money you invest, the more money you can make. But you still invest the same time to analyze the investment opportunity. Either you're investing in real estate or stocks, it still takes the same time. Either you're investing 1 million or 100 million, it takes roughly the same time to analyze your investment opportunity. Okay, so this is why investments are very big wealth creators, because you simply can make more money and it requires very little time. It's just, when it comes to investment, it's basically mental work. You recognize, oh, this is a good opportunity, oh, this isn't. And you make money for basically nothing. For basically making this, you make money with investment for making a decision, making the right decision. So really, the time and effort investment is not that much. Okay, you're banking on your money to work for you, or that avenue for that investment opportunity to work for you. The third one is creating intellectual properties, and these intellectual properties are powerful. Intellectual properties they can make you money for a lifetime. Not even in your lifetime, they can make you money after your lifetime. There's a particular lady who created a book. Her name is Anne Rand. She wrote this book, Atlas Shrugged. I think she passed away in about 1988, right? And even till today, on average, every single year, she sells about 100,000 copies of her book. And all the money from book sales are going to her estate because she has no children. Intellectual properties are properties of the mind, assets, products of the mind. So think of products that come from what you know, right? You having expertise in a particular area. So think of non-fiction books, 48 Laws of Power, Atomic Habits. Okay, these are intellectual properties. They make you money based on what you know, the information you have. Think of recorded courses, recorded audio and video lectures. Those are intellectual properties based on what you know. The second type of intellectual properties is based on your creativity. So think of music, think of art, think of inventions. Okay, those are intellectual properties that come from your creativity. And a good example to think of intellectual properties that come from creativity, if you look at the book Harry Potter, right? Harry Potter makes J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, she makes money from book sales. Okay, whenever a movie is made from her product, which is the intellectual property, right? Asset of her creativity, which is Harry Potter, because she basically created not just Harry Potter, she created all the characters in Harry Potter, and she created the entire Harry Potter universe. So anything being made from Harry Potter that is commercialized, she must get a percentage of those proceeds. She must get it. If not, it is copyright infringement. It comes with music. If you are creating a movie and you want to use any musician's song in your movie, you have to pay them for it. Merchandise, all these Harry Potter costumes and the rest, J.K. Rowling also gets a cut from them. So all sales, anything that is made out of your intellectual property, you must get a cut, you must be paid for it, or else it's copyright infringement. The same thing with invention. There's a particular man called Ferguson. He invented this technology called, I think it's LNTCD, and this technology is used for display screens in computers, televisions, wristwatches, calculators, right? This is what I'll tell you. For every time any product is being sold that uses that technology, Ferguson must get a commission. You invent something once, or you create something once. This is the thing with intellectual properties. You create them once, okay? But for every time it is being sold, you make money. And for every time something else, another product is built off of your invention or off of your creativity, off of your knowledge, you get paid for it. The thing with intellectual property is that it has very low cost for scaling. So if I buy Atomic Habits by James Clear, a book that helps you create better habits, and I read James Clear book and I get value from that book, and somebody else buys James Clear book, right? The value I get from James Clear book doesn't affect the value the other person gets from James Clear book. But James Clear only has to write Atomic Habit once. He writes it once. Every time it's being sold, he earns from it. So this is part of intellectual property, that it scales massively. You create a product that doesn't need you to keep creating it, and this is how it takes your time investment to zero. You create a product, you don't have to keep creating it, right? Whenever it is being sold, you make money. Whenever something else is made off of your product, you have the right to earn from it. So in order for you to build wealth, you separate your ability to make money from the time you have to invest into making that money. So look at creating companies to run businesses for you, your business for you. Think of investing wisely, and think of intellectual properties that will earn you money for a lifetime. Those are the 3 ways to build wealth. Whichever one works for you. For some people, if it comes to creating companies, that sounds right for them, they go with that, okay? Some people, it comes to investment. If investment is cool with you, fine. If you are some kind of writer or inventor or scientist and you believe that, okay, discovering a new technology is fine with you, you can also create wealth that way.